It was the second year after the Hijrah. Night had settled over Medina, but it was not an ordinary night. The air felt heavy with anticipation, as if the very winds were waiting for a command from the heavens. The believers who had once been persecuted in Makkah were no longer weak refugees. They were becoming a nation. But a nation is not built by land alone. It is built by revelation. And one of the greatest revelations was about to descend. Before Ramadan was born. Ramadan did not begin with a sudden command. It began with preparation, divine, precise, gradual. From the time of Adam alayhi salam, fasting had existed in every sacred law. Every prophet called his people to restrain their desires. Every nation knew hunger in the path of obedience. From Musa to the final messenger, Muhammad, peace be upon him, fasting was always a path to purification. But its form was different, its days were different, its duration was different. For the Muslims in Makkah, there was no month-long fast yet. The Prophet, peace be upon him, would fast the day of Ashura, the 10th of Muharram, just as Quraysh did. When he migrated to Medina, he found the Jews fasting that same day in gratitude for the salvation of Musa from Pharaoh. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "We have more right to Musa." And he fasted it. He encouraged the companions to fast it. Alongside this, they fasted 3 days every month, the white days, the 13th, 14th, and 15th. This was not random. This was training. Allah was preparing hearts before placing a crown upon them. The sky opens. Then came Sha'ban, the second year after Hijrah. The believers had grown stronger, their faith had deepened, their obedience had been tested. Soon they would face their first major military confrontation at Battle of Badr. But before the battlefield came the battlefield of the soul. Revelation descended from the heavens. Verses from Qur'an, Surah Al-Baqarah. O you who believe, fasting has been prescribed upon you as it was prescribed upon those before you, that you may attain taqwa. The words did not fall harshly. They fell gently. They reminded the believers, you are not alone in this. This was prescribed for those before you. It was as if Allah was saying, this is an honor, a continuation, a legacy. But even then, Ramadan was not yet in its final form. At first, there was a choice. Whoever wished could fast. Whoever found difficulty could feed a poor person instead. Imagine the mercy in that. Allah did not bind a new nation with sudden severity. He allowed a transition, a psychological preparation, a voluntary acceptance before full obligation. But this stage did not last long. The moment Ramadan became mandatory. Soon after, another verse descended. Decisive, clear, unforgettable. Greater than the month of Ramadan in which was revealed the Qur'an. So whoever witnesses the month, let him fast it. That was the moment. Ramadan was no longer optional, no longer transitional. It became obligatory upon every healthy, resident Muslim. A pillar of Islam had just been raised. The Ummah now had its month. When fasting was harder than we know. But here is something many do not realize. Even after Ramadan became obligatory, the rules were stricter than today. At sunset, you could break your fast, but if you fell asleep afterward, even briefly, eating and drinking became forbidden until the next sunset. If you slept before suhoor, you would fast the entire next day without it. Imagine the desert heat. Imagine laboring all day in palm gardens. Imagine returning home exhausted, only to close your eyes for a moment and lose your chance to eat. One companion did exactly that. After a day of exhausting labor, he came home at iftar and asked his wife for food. She went to prepare something. Overcome by fatigue, he fell asleep. When she returned, she saw him sleeping and knew the rule. He could no longer eat. The next day, under the burning Arabian sun, he tried to work again. Hunger, thirst, weakness, until his body collapsed. The news reached the Prophet, peace be upon him. His heart was heavy, but revelation had not yet changed the rule. Then mercy descended, the verse of relief. Allah revealed, "It has been made permissible for you, the night of fasting, to approach your wives and eat and drink until the white thread of dawn becomes distinct from the black thread." Everything changed. The night was opened. Sleep no longer ended your chance to eat. Suhoor was established as a blessing. Relief flooded through Medina like cool rain after drought. The companions rejoiced. Ramadan had been completed, not just as an obligation, but as a mercy. And then, as if to prove that this month was not about weakness, came Badr, 17th of Ramadan, second year after Hijrah. On one side, 313 believers. On the other, a powerful army from Makkah. Some fasted. Some were permitted to break their fast for strength. Because Islam is not extremism, it is balance. That day, Ramadan became more than hunger. It became victory. Victory of faith over fear, obedience over ego, trust over numbers. How Ramadan truly began. Ramadan did not begin as a single command. It began with Ashura, with monthly fasts, with gradual training, with choice, then obligation, then hardship, then mercy, then victory. It was built into this ummah step by step, through wisdom, compassion, and elevation. And every year when Ramadan returns to us, it carries that same legacy. A month born in revelation, strengthened in hardship, completed in mercy.